Hey, it's Annette the Lobster Lady, and I want to thank you for watching our channel. Make sure you hit subscribe and a thumbs up. Well, I'm finally getting to do the tray I have been trying for 3 years to do. This tray is for my sister Paula's birthday. And she is 10 years younger than me. So we did spend a lot of time, you know, big sister, little sister type things. And we collected shells when we'd go to the beach. My mom used to take us all the time. And so I put all these shells in there that I collected up from the Keys. Well, besides that, I had to find something really cool. And I saw this anchor. It's a little wooden anchor, and you can get them at Dollar Tree. I painted it gold and added some other, you know, different colors in there. And what I did was I went to Goodwill and I bought one of those vases or bags, I forget which one it was, that has all the old broken and dilapidated jewelry that's been donated. So I broke the chain off, wrapped it around my anchor, and made a cool piece in there. Now I'm watching it. I'm so sorry. That's my Pinata teal alcohol ink, and I was trying it. Now I'm going to tell you, I did it differently than normal. I'm pointing to it to show you that I just put drips and drops where I thought we needed a little more color. And I didn't want to put it in my resin because then it would cover up everything that I've got in here. Now, you know, you do want it a little covered, but you want to be able to still see it. So this is what I did. Check it out while I'm doing it. I think it worked out real well. I just spread it around and went around with everything, and I left it because, you know, water is not a solid opaque color, so I didn't make this a solid opaque color. The mold I got from Amazon. It's a beautiful mold. It's very thick. My resin is KS resin, and as I said, Pinata alcohol inks. And I used a blue, I can't remember which color, in the original resin and the first coat. And then I also got some diamond dust from Stone Coat countertops. I love their diamond dust, and you can't do anything without the diamond dust. It just makes it perfect. I just don't think this can be improved in any other way. I'm joking around. I also pulled the color a little bit over the edges of my shells and of the anchor. And see the difference, I'm pointing, oh my gosh. See the difference between the blue, the teal that I'm using, and the color that doesn't have any teal on it. It really is a big difference. It really adds. I was trained in oil, and what we did, we always made our edges and our corners darker. It's just a rule of thumb in art. So here we go. See the way I'm pulling it up over the anchor? You want to get a little bit over there so it looks like it really is in the water. And we're going to put a whole nother coat on there. Maybe 2. Who knows? Here we go. Now, I'm adding a couple little extra spots and we'll be ready. I'm using KS Resin's White Waves Liquid Resin Dye. And I'm going to put waves, not a wave like what's on a charcuterie board, but just some ripples, and so you know it is water, okay? So this is the way I'm going to do it. And you're going to get a chance to see how well it does. Now, I'm going to gather. What I did make a mistake, and don't you do this, is I forgot to save a little bit of extra resin. I always save, but I didn't that time, so I went ahead and scooped a couple little things up, and I'm going to put my casting craft in. I'm just going to put a couple little drips in there, a couple little drops, just to give it some whiteness. And if you notice, that's about how much it is, and I'm just going to mix the heck out of it. Now, I never put that on my resin directly on the project because the casting craft will go right to the bottom. And I think you're going to see, even in my piece here, some of the parts of the casting craft does drop. And it's because it's so much heavier. But that's okay, because I know what I'm going to do. See, right there where I had the wood, it is starting to drop. It disappears almost. Well, we're not going to do a big wave like we do on our charcuterie board. We're going to put the ripples and the ocean to where it looks like we're in the ocean, but maybe in a boat looking down. That's kind of how I envision it. Now, don't worry about that big old hunk up top, because I'm going to get that out. But you can see where there's heavy, bright white, and then there's really faded white. That's because it's dropping. So, as I always tell my students, warm up the resin first so it will move. If you don't warm it, it won't move. Now, we've removed the sound from the heat gun, so you don't have to go deaf listening to it. But we're going to move that casting craft just to give us a little bit of color and a little bit of depth. And I have to apologize for the round circle in the middle. That is a light. So as we're waiting, I'm going to tell you about that casting craft. It's good stuff, but you do need to practice with it. There's another brand, I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it in the description if I can remember. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just heating everything up and kind of getting it in order in the right area. Now you're going to see I'm coming down on the white, and I'm going to see it starting to move. And that's the whole idea, is to move it and get it to move up through your resin. Keep going until you like it. Okay? Now this is dropped also, so I'm going to warm that up. And we're going to keep going until it's looking like you want it to look. Okay? And everybody has different idea. It does help to go to the beach. Or if you can't get to a beach, look at YouTube. Watch the TV. Watch the waves, the way they land. See, and I know that there's no straight line like that, so I took that out. Okay, let's get this going here. I'm getting a little impatient, I think, while I was doing it. I was trying to get it to work. Here we go. I didn't want waves. I don't want waves, remember, so I'm not disappointed. I just want some lines, some ripples, just an indication that it is water and we're under the water. I've had a lot of experience in being under the water. I am a commercial lobster diver. Maybe done. I don't know if it's my end of my career doing that, but I've been under the water quite a bit, and I enjoy it. It's so peaceful, and that's my whole idea with this tray. I want it to look peaceful. I want it to be enjoyable, something that you could use any time of the year. Okay, now I'm going to leave that a little heavier there, I think. I can't remember why exactly I'm going toward the middle, but oh, yes, I had designed it that way. That's right. Because when I put the second layer on, that's going to fix it. That's going to meet up with it. If you notice, they're just very light lines. I don't want a massive wave. If you do a massive wave, you're not going to see anything in there. Now, if I could get a beautiful massive wave, I might take it, but not today. I want ripples, and that's what we're getting. Here we go. Now it's getting nice and warm, and it's going to move for me. Now I want you to keep an eye on those shells, especially the one that's right underneath my heat gun. That has a stain from the alcohol ink. And you need to make sure that you don't leave the alcohol inks on your shells too long, because they will stain. And it just doesn't look appropriate. It doesn't look like it belongs there, you know. So let's see if I'm into what I'm doing here, and if I'm just moving it all around there. I remember I had a good time with this. Then we have darks. And another thing I've always been told, put your lightest light next to your darkest dark. And I tell that all the time. It really helps everything pop. I know before I finished this, I made sure my shells were not stained. This was a big job, this tray. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I hope my sister enjoys it too. I'm happy. I'm dancing, guys. That's the way old ladies dance. Now what am I doing now? Oh, I'm just put my cap on. Let's see what we're gonna do now.